Welcome to this episode of My VA Disability Claim. All right, today you see it, how to file VA claims for beginners, right? For people who may be unfamiliar with it. This is part 4 of the 5-part series. In part 5, all we're going to do is show you the forms, all the forms you would need, the VA specific form. We're just going to walk you through that. Part 4, we're proving the third element, right? The first element was that it was caused by service, right? That second element was, do you have a current disability? And that third element is the nexus, the chronicity. And all we're talking about is the time from the incident or when you separated service up until now, right? So let's say I separated from the service in 2020 and I'm filing a claim in 2025. When we talk about nexus, chronicity, we're talking about those 5 years, since separation till now. What's been happening with that disability? Do you have medical records showing that you've been going to the doctor? Do you have personal statements talking about how you've been dealing with it, right? What's been going on with that disability? Over those 5 years, you got to prove that it's a chronic disability, meaning something that you suffer from the time you separated up until now. So that's what we're going to talk about today, proving that chronicity, that nexus, all right? The lesson plan for today, we're going to identify the evidence that we need to prove chronicity and nexus. We're going to show you what that evidence looks like. That's number 2. And then number 3, we're going to show you the tools that you can use to build that evidence. All right. In order to get your claim approved, keep it simple. All right. There's 3 pieces to the puzzle. 3-piece puzzle. 3 elements, we call it. All right. 3 buckets, right? When we talk about it. 3 things you have to prove. In order to get that claim approved, you have to prove that you have a disability. That's what current medical records do. A current medical diagnosis shows that, okay, this veteran currently has this disability. Number 2, you have to prove that the disability is chronic. That's what we're going to talk about today. Remember, in our example, I separated in 2020. I'm filing a claim in 2025. So I need to prove over the past 5 years that I've been dealing with this disability. And then number 3, you got to prove that the disability was caused by military service. We talked about that one in part 1 of this series. Part 2. Part 1 was kind of an intro. Part 2 was the first element. All right, so those are the 3 things you have to prove. Again, we're keeping it simple. We're keeping it useful. We're keeping it helpful. That's all we're trying to do. 3 pieces to the puzzle. Today we're talking about that nexus, that link. Chronicity. Prove you have been suffering from the disability since you separated from the service. And people are here to say, man, I didn't go to the doctor. I understand. When I filed my claim, I didn't go to the doctor either. And it was over a 10-year period. Ultimately, still got the claim approved, right? So just because you didn't go to the doctor doesn't mean you shouldn't file. That means you need to prove. How else can you prove that you've been dealing with this disability for the past 10 years or 15 years, 20 years, whatever the case, right? Again, records or statements. It's not just records. It's records or statements. So when you hear that word nexus, that's all they mean is a link. Nexus, link. That's it. Nexus, link. The link between it happened in service and I'm still dealing with it. The link between those 2 things. It happened in service and I'm still dealing with it. And the link between is what we call the nexus, right? So don't be too confused by that. 3-piece puzzle. First piece, third piece, middle piece is the link, all right? Keeping it simple. Keeping it simple. Whenever you file a claim, this is what you are saying. I have a chronic disability that was caused by military service. So that's what you have to prove. You have to prove that you have a disability. You have to prove that the disability is chronic, and you have to prove that it was caused by military service. And you may say, man, how am I going to prove all this stuff? Man, this is a lot. Records or statements. That's how you prove it. Records or statements, right? Keep it simple. Keep this process simple. When you get, okay, we're filing for migraines in this scenario, right? So we got our migraine and we got to focus on, okay, which element am I proving now? We already proved the first element, that it was caused by service. We already proved the other element, that we have a current medical diagnosis for, right? We got those 2. So the element that I'm proving now is chronicity. Since I separated up until now, how have I been dealing with these migraines, right? What evidence am I going to use to prove this evidence? What evidence am I going to use, to prove this element? Is it records or statements? Again, keeping it simple. Evidence for each of the 3 elements. Evidence for each of the three elements. Keep it simple, right? So what do you have to prove? I have to prove that I suffered from the disability since separation up until now. So with these migraines, again, records, statements, that's all you need to prove it. For migraine specifically, in this situation, to prove the nexus, what type of evidence can we use? We can use medical records. If I went to the doctor for migraine since separation, I can use those medical records to prove chronicity, right? I could also use an incident report. Let's say during the time since separation to now, at my job, I've had to call out because of my migraines. I can use that report to show this veteran has been dealing with migraines since they separated. For statements, I could write a personal statement talking about the symptoms that I experienced. I could get a lay statement from someone around me, right? Family member, friend, whatever the case, just saying the symptoms that they witnessed me experience. I could also do a nexus statement from a medical doctor, right? And get their medical opinion that based on the veteran's records, in my medical opinion, it is more likely than not that these migraines are caused by their military service, right? So those are three of the tools that you could use: that nexus statement, lay statement, personal statement on the statement side. And then on the record side, medical records, incident reports, additional records, right? Records showing that you've been dealing with migraines since separation up until now. All right, again, keeping it simple, keeping it simple. And we always suggest send a statement of support up with your claim. That's that 21-4138. With every claim you file, we suggest send up a statement because it makes it easier for the evaluator. All right. And we got that before you file VA Disability Claims Guidebook, guiding questions. Pretty much the same thing I do in these videos is done in a book, right? That's all it is. The conditions tracker is the same as what I do here. All ways for me to help you organize your claim before you send it up. The more organized it is, the higher chance you have of approval, in my opinion. You got that 3-element statement template as well. You can use that to make your own statement. And we actually used it for this particular example. In terms of migraine, what tool can I use to help me build my evidence? You can use a veterans clinic, right? You can use a veteran mental health clinic. You can use a Nexus letter clinic. These are all tools that are out there to help you prove this nexus element. So you want to be aware of the resources at your disposal, right? You have those Nexus letter clinics, again, veteran mental health clinics. I'm in the Virginia area. I think Lamech is one that's close to me. And then you have veteran clinics as well. All right. So here's the format for the statement, right? We got to make a statement addressing the nexus, just like we made a statement addressing that this is a disability that was caused by service. And we made a statement addressing that we have a current disability and these are my current symptoms. So now we're going to do a statement addressing the nexus. And all we do is take those 3 pieces of the puzzle and put them together. That's all. Hey. Step 1, step 2, step 3, put it together, get your approval, baby. Why not, huh? So this is the format for the Nexus statement. Since separation in, you want to put the year and the month, right? Since I separated at this time, I have continued to experience whatever that disability is, and then no symptoms, right? You want to put those symptoms out there, disability and the symptoms. I have included whatever your evidence is. I have included medical records. I have included lay statements. I have included a personal statement. I have included a nexus statement, right? Showing that I've continued to suffer from this disability. So this is the format that you use for, hey, come on now, we giving you all the goods, baby. We giving you all the goods. Like after this, if you can't put together a solid claim, you weren't paying attention, yo. It is what it is. Like, stop playing with me. This is what the statement will look like. Since separation from service in 2012, I have continued to experience migraine headaches. So the evaluator is like, okay, well, what evidence you got? I have included medical records of doctor visits for my migraines since separation. I have also included lay statements that describe my symptoms since separation. When you glitch, yo, it's hilarious. As you get older, I think you glitch more probably, especially when you do all this talking. Like, I've been talking for hours, yo. But that glitch will always get you like, damn, I malfunctioned. But that's what the statement would look like. So you're citing the evidence that you're going to include, right? Send those medical records up, send those statements up, and then you explicitly say, I've been dealing with this condition since separation. Keeping it simple, man. You address the next is. You know who the best is. You know what the next is. Hey, and this is the statement, the full layout to the statement. You talk about the in-service stuff at the beginning. You know, this was caused by service because of this event or this diagnosis. And then you go into sense separation. This is what I've been dealing with. And then you hit them with the current symptoms. I have a current diagnosis for XYZ. If you don't have a medical diagnosis, just write your current symptoms. These are the current symptoms I've been experiencing, right? And we know you want to use the rating schedule as you do this. Come on now, give yourself a simple advantage, baby. You know what I mean? We already had one about the hundreds of thousands of claims that have been denied. And then you got the furlough going on right now. Oh my goodness, cats getting fired and all this is crazy out here, baby. This is crazy. I'm furloughed. You know what I mean? With that furlough, chill out, dog. I said, okay, cool. I said, cool. All right. So it's important at a time like now to make sure your stuff is squared away when you send it up there, right? We can uncomplicate it. I would say it's not personal, and we can help you uncomplicate it. It's a 3-piece puzzle. 1, 2, 3. The evidence, records, or statements, right? We try to make it simple for you, uncomplicated, so we can give you clear missions and objectives. Go out, accomplish the mission, bring it all back, put it together, and you're good to go, right? This is the full statement right here. That joint is a masterpiece, right? The guidebook helped me to make that, the 3-element template. That's what it is though, right? It's like an algorithm essentially. This plus this plus this gives me this. That's what we're doing here. Hey, yo, you know how we do it, man. On the next episode, we're going to talk about setting up the forms. We'll give you the forms that you would use for things like a late statement, things like the claim itself, that statement and supported claim, right? We'll just give you the forms that you would use. We'll make a visual aid for it so you can take a picture and then be on your way. Come on now, hey, learn the information. Talk to me. Use the information. Talk to me. And if you deem it to be valuable, don't be selfish, yo. Share the information. Hey, reach out to me if you have questions. If you have suggestions, also put it in the comments, man. Give me some feedback on this joint, man. I'm expanded in a lot of different ways, yo. Like, let me know what you need, baby. I'm here for you. You know what I mean? Hey, have an incredible day. Come on.